Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It's the award-winning InWheelTime Car Talk Show. Just ahead, the guy that keeps us grounded here, Jack Nerad,
Okay.
and his take on the new car market, along with other things like what's the price of gas in LA today. Later, Jeff has the racing calendar. Mr. Mars has This Week in Auto History. And I'll bring you some of the stories making automotive news headlines this week. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars over there, Jeff Zekin here, David Ainsley way out there. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this Saturday for our live show. If you're listening, watching on a podcast, thank you for that.
I think I just did the YMCA thing.
Did you?
I think that's what it was.
I know that you're well rehearsed in that. You know, Jeff was a major domo back in what, high school?
Yeah.
A major domo.
It's called. We used to call it genius back then.
Genius.
Yeah. Mensa. You can call it what you want.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Oh no.
No. All right. Well, just thought I'd
Throw
mention that because
dementia. That
he does have a knack for music. He's a great drummer and was
great guy. Great family man. Just great all around.
You wanna just go ahead and just read us your resume?
We could end the show right now with that.
And on a high note.
We could do that. Well, as we wait for Jack.
No, Jack's ready.
Jack's here.
Well,
bring him on.
Bring him on.
He's too busy talking about Jeff.
Well,
I love hearing about Jeff.
I know we all
do.
We all need more
Jeff. I
Jeff.
don't like. Yeah, exactly.
We do need more Jeff Zekin. Hello,
Known
Jack
for his
Nerad.
humility. Well, hello.
Hello to California, my friend.
Things are great here in California.
Yeah, don't lie to us.
I'll bet. Yeah,
Yeah.
We heard all the terms. Have they counted the damn votes that
No,
are
no.
about
I was looking at the election results website yesterday, and they say they're going to certify sometime in July.
July is
Nice.
a good day.
July. So,
July the 4th.
Well, no.
250th anniversary.
Right around there. I think July 5th is the day they've picked.
Is it this July?
We think so.
Is it?
We're not quite sure, but we think so.
Oh, Jack, that California dude.
Yeah, we love it.
Wild and crazy
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, are you loving it still out there?
Well, we put up with a lot for the weather, right? I mean, and I'm 3/4 of a mile from the beach. It's beautiful,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Pacific Ocean, wonderful. It's always about 75 degrees here, no matter what time of year. So gotta like that.
See, that's
And
the
then
thing.
there's the craziness, and it's everywhere.
Well,
That's
but
the
it's
thing
always
about
been
being
that
down
way,
here.
Jack. Let's not forget where all those bands came from back in the 60s, brother.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true.
There's that.
Including the Beach Boys, which are from right up the road here.
Yeah.
Yep.
My
exactly.
heroes, of course.
Yep. Well, all of ours.
Yeah.
So I have to ask you, how much the price of gas out there today?
It's come down. We were driving around yesterday, and it's under $6 now. It's high fives.
Okay.
We're not giving high fives, but the gasoline is
Well, I have to tell
like
you,
$5.45 a gallon or something.
Well, I will tell you this, that I had to buy gas for the Corvette a couple of weeks ago, and it burns premium. And I spent $5 a gallon. I've never spent $5 a gallon on gasoline. It cost me like $80 to fill it up.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
used to buy avgas out at the airport for that.
Well, you
Yeah.
can't do that anymore. At least you
No.
can't admit it. That's for sure.
Yeah, crazy.
So, Jack, let's talk about new cars and anything new and fun that you've been on any junkets lately.
Well, actually, I spent the early part of the week in Georgia, and I was at the Hyundai Meta plant, where they were going to build something like 250,000 to 500,000 electric vehicles a year. That's not going to happen. So they have introduced the Kia Sportage hybrid into that plant, which is interesting because it's a Kia being built in a Hyundai plant, but of course they have the same parent company.
Right.
So it was kind of fascinating to see that plant add Kia to it. There was a big ceremony. Governor Kemp was there to drive the first vehicle off the line, do all of that. A very nice event. And then we drove down to West Point, Georgia, kind of across the state, and saw the Kia plant where they're building all kinds of stuff, and they're going great guns, and they're making about 500,000 vehicles a year in that plant, all with American workers, of course. It's just been a boon for the economy there. So it's terrific. One of the most impressive things about that was they have something like 13,000 vehicles on the ground at any one time.
Wow.
Oh,
I mean, there is just acres of cars produced, and you look at them and go, people are buying these, but it kind of shows you just the scale of the industry. It's just so amazing.
so they're literally building them so much faster than they can ship them off the property out across the country, huh?
Well, they build about one car every 53 seconds, I think
Yep.
is what they told us, something like that.
Yeah.
And then they ship a lot of them by rail and the rest of them by truck. I think to the southeast they go by truck and probably out to Texas by rail, certainly up to the upper Midwest and out here to California.
Yeah.
And then they also export some. Some go to Mexico, some go to Canada.
I remember back when I was in the factory, I think they built a car every 9 minutes, I think, and that was like the exclusive time to beat. But
Yeah,
now
the
every
holdup
50
was the wooden wheels, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They
Right.
warped a lot, but 53 seconds, that's amazing.
Yeah.
The first plant, did they have a lot of storage there on their lots? Because you said you went to the first one.
Well, it's interesting. They, being all electric, and things changed on them pretty radically now, didn't they? They have a lot of extra space, and I think they're going to introduce a lot of internal combustion engine vehicles there over the course of time.
I got you.
They're calling it electrify, but these are hybrids, so they do have a battery, but
Right.
they're not battery vehicles like the vehicles that were being produced
So-
or are being produced there.
So they introduced the Kia Sportage there at the Hyundai plant.
Mhm.
Is it the same Kia Sportage? I mean, or did they make some significant
No,
changes?
it's the new model year,
Right.
and they're only going to build the hybrid there, the Sportage hybrid. The conventionally powered Sportage is still being built in West Point, Georgia, and which also builds, I think, like 4 other cars. It's pretty amazing to see various vehicles come down the same assembly line and everything match up, and all, it's fascinating how they're able to do all that.
Well, Jack, I know that you have probably seen the story that I read today. The fact that it seems as though, at least for now, that the auto industry, the car manufacturing industry, is actually not doing too bad. They're still selling lots of cars, which goes completely against what we hear about, grocery store prices, how bad the economy is, but yet we still have this love affair for cars.
Yeah, I mean, there's a drumbeat that the economy is bad, and the economy isn't bad. I mean, I think people think that the economy is bad because they hear it every day in the media, but actually they're spending money like the economy is really pretty darn good. And one of the indicators of that is they're buying cars. Not only are they buying cars, they're buying expensive cars. I mean, the transaction price is right around $50,000, the average transaction price. So this is a fairly robust car industry, and both dealers and the car manufacturers are making a lot of money. This is pretty fat times for them.
The good news doesn't make good headlines.
No, exactly. I think the media is trying to rile us up, and I think when you see what the media is about these days, which is getting clicks, you don't get clicks by telling people good news. You get clicks by telling people that things are lousy.
Yeah, it's a moneymaker.
Yeah.
So I have 2 people right now in my life that are both in the car buying mode. One of them being my daughter. The lease is up on her Rogue, and she is interested in buying a used Jeep Grand Cherokee. So we started I clicked around a little bit. Oh my God, if you go online, you're going to find a bajillion of them, all different makes and models, all different years, all different mileage figures, and prices are all over the board. So it's not just new cars, it's used as well. I have another friend of mine that was in the market because their lease is up on their Volkswagen, and they do not want another Tiguan. Because of the jerkiness of the turbo, and the engine thing. Oh well, we've changed the algorithm in the computer. Okay, fine,
Right.
You go do that. But guess what? They're really going after a Chevy Trax, of all things, a Chevy Trax. And I'll tell you, Jack, I actually drove one not that long ago, it's a pretty decent car for under $30,000.
Yeah,
really
one of the
is.
few, right?
Yeah.
One of the few.
And it's not what you would consider a cheapo. Not by any. It doesn't look that way and didn't drive that way. It's got a 3-cylinder engine that gets 30 miles per gallon. I mean, it's got a lot of things going for it. My guess is they're going to sell every one they get on the lot.
Yeah, it's funny. I was talking to a friend of mine at JD Power recently, and he was touting the tracks too. He said, he used that as an example of one of the few affordable cars out there that's really a good deal. So it's something to look at.
Well, it looks good too. It doesn't look like a cheapo. I remember back in the day, yeah, that car is a cheapo. You can just tell by the way it looks. They don't generally make those anymore.
And you want to upgrade from that, there's always Buick.
Oh, Lord. So Jeff's still touting his Buick and his decision to buy a Buick. And I will say that it's a pretty nice car, too.
There you go.
And it's not $50,000.
No, it's not. And
I'll
it's a
tell you, if you
four-cylinder
had a
turbo.
Buick out here, you would have the most distinctive vehicle on the road because
Yeah,
you
because they're
wouldn't
not-
see anything just like it out here. I can tell you that.
Do they not sell Buicks in California?
Very rarely.
Well, it's
How
there.
funny.
You just don't see them.
That's
and,
what's wrong with
they're
that
pretty
state.
good looking vehicle. You see one on the road and you go, "What is that?" And then you go, "Oh, it's a Buick."
It's a Buick.
If you toot the horn, I'll wave at you.
And, to that end, Jack, and I know that you'll agree with me on this, in different parts of the country, it's almost as if it's going from Neiman Marcus to Dillard's to Macy's. It's a blouse or it's a shirt, but it's different in the different parts of the country.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
If you travel around as we do, and if you look at the sales figures, stuff that sells in the Northeast does not sell in the Southwest,
Exactly.
for example, or things that sell in Texas don't sell in North Dakota. Nothing really sells. In
It's
North
a trend
Dakota.
of the region.
But,
There's nobody that lives in North
Yeah.
Dakota.
Actually, I think North Dakota is probably booming now because of the oil business up there. But I'll tell you, it is kind of very regional splits. I mean, you see a lot of domestic vehicles in the middle of the country, and on the coast, you just don't see them very much. And here in Southern California, I mean, this is a giant import market, with the exception of Tesla, which is a domestic brand, of course. And you see a lot of Teslas here. I think the Tesla Model Y was the best-selling vehicle in California last year, or something like that. So go figure. That probably won't happen going forward because of the lack of the federal tax credits. But we'll see.
Well, so what are you going to talk about today on your car show?
One of the things we talk about is the Mazda CX-30, and is that really an SUV? My take on that, and especially in the turbo version, is it's more of a hot hatchback. It's a really fun to drive car. So we talk about that. Well, of course, we do car reviews. We're also reviewing the Jeep Grand Cherokee this year, and this week, and that vehicle has a new powertrain with this new turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. Very interesting tech. Kind of, I guess, I don't want to overtell what's on the show, but we're not necessarily big fans of the newest vehicle.
Okay. That's an honest opinion.
All right. News this week from Stellantis. They're bringing back the horsepower, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Something that they should have never gone away from. They wouldn't be this deep in debt had they not gone away from it. But that idiot that they finally got rid of,
Both of them.
Yeah, that's a thing of the past. I mean, apparently they're going to go all in on horsepower.
Well, you said more horsepower, so they're going to put more electric motors in them.
Well, in some cases, but I mean, I think that the Hemi's back.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think what we saw, and what I was talking about just now with the Jeep Grand Cherokee and that 4-cylinder engine, all things being equal, and if we didn't have the fuel economy requirements that we used to have and the emission requirements that we used to have that have now been banished, thankfully, we wouldn't have stuff like that. I think a lot of people are facing they're being confronted with turbocharged 4-cylinder engines in all kinds of things that they are about to buy, and they're going, well, I don't really want this. I'd like a V8 engine. I'd like a solid, normally aspirated 6-cylinder engine like I'm used to. I don't want the complication and sometimes the turbo lag of a turbocharged engine, and that's because of fuel economy requirements that were just crazy. I mean, impossible, almost impossible to reach, and certainly impossible to reach without those kind of powertrains.
And whether you're driving that turbo 3-cylinder or you're driving the 5.7 Hemi, the cost of the gas, the fuel is the same.
Yeah.
Just depends on how hard you push it and use it.
Yep.
Right.
Well, I think that they're headed in the right direction for their miraculous comeback, and Lord knows they've had enough of them in the life cycle of that company.
Yeah.
But I was kind of excited to hear that the SRT is going to make a huge comeback. They're going to have 30 different versions of it or something like that. It's crazy, but and it's not going to take that long for this to get on the road. To be honest with you, I see that. I saw a preview. I don't remember what car it was, but it looked real good. And I'm thinking, there's something about an American V8, normally aspirated, that is unlike anything else that we drive, Jack. And you got to agree with me.
Yeah, absolutely. Big fans of those, and I've been big fans of those forever. And I think what we see in full-size SUVs is kind of the remnant of that, right? I mean, those are the only separate body on frame, V8 power rear drive vehicles that are still on the road. And, that's what everybody had as a family car, 30, 40 years ago.
The only thing that we never heard about turbo lag until they started making them for customers to drive. Turbos have been around forever and ever and ever, but the ones that we drive, I remember when they first came on the market, they were horrible. Step on the gas and it kind of inched forward, and then all of a sudden this huge rush of power, and you're squealing the tires and not meaning to.
Yeah. They've kind of moderated that to some extent, but a lot of these turbos I drive still have some lag. And as I said, I don't want to mean to pick on the Jeep Grand Cherokee, but as you're driving that, this is a big, heavy vehicle, and you'd like immediate torque. You just don't get it from those kinds of engines typically.
Yeah, turbos were originally designed or used on like big industrial equipment, large
diesels,
dump trucks and diesels and things.
Yeah.
Right.
And so the slow turn up of a turbo was fine for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and lower
but
torque.
I think to Stellantis' credit, but they're responding to the market. They're not responding to the government mandates now. They're not being forced to build cars for mandates. They're trying to build cars that people want to buy.
Well, they were making money on the mandates on that, because now they're not making money, so they do have to pivot.
Yeah, and I think that the pivot, when a great big huge company makes a pivot, it takes a while to get that wheel turning, so to speak. So, Jack, what is your press car of the week that you're driving this week?
I have a Volvo XC60. I actually went out this morning, even before the show, and did some photography on it. That's a sweet ride. The XC60 is one of the Volvo's best. And, it's a mid-size luxury SUV, and they just finished them well. The seats are among the most comfortable of any seats in the industry. I just think it's a terrific vehicle.
You just don't hear of people buying them, at least here in Texas anymore. And I think that that Volvo brand has something to offer and something to look at if you look for something a little bit more upscale than, I don't know, Chevy or something.
And they're building a lot of them now in the United States, which is cool as well. A lot of their SUVs are being built here.
Well, Jack, it's always great to talk to you, and we thank you so much for taking the time out of your day. America on the Road is his show. Look it up. And
any new books?
I'm working on another crime novel. It's more in my head than it is on the paper yet. But,
it's a crime up there in your head.
Yeah. A lot of things are a crime.
Crime
chamber. Yeah, you've been in Don's head then, haven't you?
Yeah, apparently so.
That's my wife. Yeah.
Jack, we love you. Thank you so much. Have a great summer, and hopefully we'll talk to you before summer ends.
I look forward to it. Always great to talk to you three. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Jack.
you. Hey, you're invited to join us again next week for our live show. In next week, it's a bonus hour, 9 to noon Central, as we take it all the way up to Granbury, Texas, for the Lone Star Street Rod Association. Lone Star State Run.
Mm-hmm.
If you miss our show, you'll be able to connect through a podcast from your favorite podcast channel anytime. We're going to be right back after this quick break. Stay with us.
The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Loopy Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flamiado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla. Eats pretty good.
Join the InWheelTime Car Talk Show as we hit the road for a live broadcast from the 51st Annual Lone Star Street Rod Association State Run at Hewlett Park in Granbury. This once-a-year rolling car collection takes place June 12th through the 14th. Check out hundreds of classic street rods, vendors, giveaways, awards, and family fun. Best of all, spectator admission is absolutely free. InWheelTime will be live from Granbury Saturday, June 13th, 9 to noon. Get all the deets at lssra.com. That's it for this podcast episode of the InWheelTime Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.